Okay, it should be starting in Facebook pretty soon. I'm just going to double check and then we'll get started. Great time to take a couple easy deep breaths. Relax, get settled. We've got a lot to do today. Okay, great. It is there on the Facebook page. Okay. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll give people just a few more seconds to get on. It's a great time to say hi in the chat, where you're joining us from. If you have any questions from yesterday, if you're joining us for the first time today, that would be fine too. Okay. All right, well, everything appears to be working. So that's always a good thing. Oh, great. Lorena just upgraded to join us, so thank you. And I apologize if I didn't say your name correctly. Okay, let me just... Okay, well, welcome, welcome, welcome to day 2 of reprogramming your chakras to thrive in turbulent times. We got a good start yesterday working on some general things, but also working on the root chakra at the base of the spine, the chakras in the legs, feet, and the below body chakras that are in your energy field below your feet. Today, we're going to be emphasizing the in-body chakras, particularly from the base of your spine to the crown on top of your head. Tomorrow, we'll be working with some of my favorites. Well, they're all favorites, which are the out-of-body chakras that are above your head. There are a number of chakras in your energy field above your head, and they set the big, broad possibilities in your life. What isn't possible. They set all the big frameworks, and they do a lot more than that. And a lot of people only think about the 7 quote-unquote main chakras, but there are a lot more than 7 chakras, and the ones above your head, very important. The ones below your feet are very important. If you missed yesterday, you can still catch the video of that if you're on Facebook. That'll be available. I've said they're going to be available for 24 hours. I'm going to let that one run a bit longer because some people are just joining us today. But that will be coming down. Now, for those of you who are on Zoom, you're going to get access to all the videos. We have to edit them. It may take a week or so, but you'll get access to everything. And if you did upgrade to VIP, besides being on Zoom, tomorrow, Wednesday, when the program ends, stay on the Zoom and we'll do an extra 30, 40 minutes of coaching. So it's a coach-a-thon opportunity to ask me questions, get personal help and advice. And I think you'll really love it. And that'll be after the session on Wednesday. Again, this is just for the people that did the VIP upgrade. On Friday, if you did the VIP upgrade, we do an hour coach-a-thon session together. So a lot of fun stuff coming up. And then again, if you were a VIP, the different bonuses you'll get next week. I didn't, you have enough to do this week. I didn't want you to get all that ahead of time. Any other logistic things? Let me see. And then, so tomorrow as a group, again, we'll be working on the out-of-body chakras above the head. On Thursday, the last day, we're going to work on getting all of your chakras to work together. It's a mistake to think of the chakras as just being individual things, and you just work on this one, you work on that one. They're a system. It's a lot like in medicine, the whole holistic medicine movement was a response to people tended to just focus, like they just looked at your heart, they just looked at your gut, they just looked at your nervous system. Well, we know that everything in the body is interconnected. Your nervous system is affecting your heart's affecting your nervous system, your gut's affecting your heart's affecting your gut. Everything's affecting everything. Your muscles are affecting your circulation. And so that's why the whole holistic movement started, to get people to not just focus in, but to get the bigger picture of how everything works together. Thursday, we'll be working on making sure that all of your chakras are really working well together. So, and we'll do some other stuff, but that'll be the main part of it. So today, in-body chakras. Tomorrow, the chakras above your head. Yesterday was the chakras below your feet, legs and below your feet. And then tomorrow will be, I got myself confused. So yes, let me start over. Yesterday was the chakras from the base of your spine to your legs and your feet. Today are emphasizing the chakras from the base of your spine up to the crown on top of your head. Then tomorrow will be the chakras above those, above the crown. And then the last day, the fourth day, will be bringing it all together. Okay, I think I got it straight that time. And if you want to share any of your experiences, either in the Facebook chat or the Zoom chat from yesterday, that would be great. I wanted to read a couple of comments, so because I think it's helpful to hear other people's experiences. When I was first learning energy work, I don't know, 39 years ago, whenever it was, if somebody in the group had a more amazing experience than I had, I would think, oh, am I doing something wrong? Or, and then at a certain point, I realized it was a gift. I love hearing people having amazing experiences. Now, I also want to hear about experiences that aren't amazing. But what happens is when you hear an experience from other people that you really like, you can tell your miraculous self that if it's appropriate, you'd like your version of that experience. So again, you ask your miraculous self to give you your version of that kind of experience, and it just opens up all kinds of things. So just a few of the comments from yesterday. That felt really good, very peaceful and etheric, loved it, thank you. The energy seemed to clear layers and layers of energies that does not serve. And by the way, whether you notice the energy shifts happening or not, it doesn't really matter. The energy work, as long as you don't fuss about it, the energy works. If you notice it, that's great. If you don't notice it, that's also great. Some of the most powerful healings I've ever received, I didn't feel them that strongly at the moment. I remember one time receiving a healing, and this friend of mine laughed. He goes, I know you don't know it yet, but that was a huge healing. And like later I realized, oh, things are different. So if you notice it, fine. If you don't notice it, it's fine. Joined late, but even in the last 30 minutes, wow, wow, wow. My legs were tingling and buzzing. Thank you so much from Costa Rica. I love the chakra clearing and energizing call. I will definitely re-listen. Can't wait for the next one. And this one I really like. Thank you, Art, for this process. After attending via the replay, and I want to emphasize that the replays work. If you imagine they're happening right now while you're watching them, I don't care if it's 10 years from now, they work. You access the energies. After attending via replay, I met a friend for lunch, and in the car, she said that she had noticed that I was smiling more and seemed happier. When I asked when she first noticed this change, she said it was about 2 months ago, which places it at the time of the last 3-day energetic NLP event in October. That was the Discover Your Miraculous Abilities event. And it coincides with the universe opening the door for me to return to radio announcing. I really appreciate the processes and recognize this is what I need now, unquestionably. So there's a lot more comments, but I wanted to share a few of them. And in the chat here, I can definitely feel a huge shift today. I felt more energy, feel better than I have in years. And I love hearing that. And some of you may feel more tired today. Some of you, sometimes it kicks stuff up, which is why we're doing this over 4 days. So often you just feel better, better, and better. Sometimes you don't really notice it, but like in the comment there, other people go, gee, you're smiling more, or they just notice a change. Other times it's a bit of an up and down thing, and you end up, but sometimes things get triggered that you have to process through. When we're doing the processes, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, there's a lot of different reactions you can have. So one is you don't feel the energy, which again is perfectly fine. As long as you don't go, oh, I should be feeling it. Why am I not feeling it? You can block things. But if you just go, okay, I'll see what happens. As I said yesterday, you don't have to believe any of this. Just pretend it's working while it's going on, and you'll see what happens. So you may not notice anything. Often people feel an altered, sleepy, dreamy state. Psychologists call it the hypnagogic state. It's a very powerful state for clearing and changing old unconscious and energetic blocks. In fact, years ago, I worked with one of the people who developed Atari when it was a billion-dollar company before it got sold and ruined. And he had gotten into, bought all this brain mapping equipment. And one of the things we were looking at was how do you get people into the hypnagogic state because it's so powerful. And it turns out of everything we looked at, energy work worked better than anything else we tried. And he had brain mapping equipment that, and certain times with the energy work, it would show like a little image of the brain, and this little needle would darken parts of the brain if it went to the hypnagogic state. Sometimes with the energy work, it would like darken the entire brain, and he had never seen anything like that before. You may feel really energized, you may feel really sleepy. Often after energy work, I feel tired, but it's not like tired like beat. It's tired like I just want to curl up in a ball like a puppy or a kitten, and because I'm processing. So you may feel energized, you may feel tired. The main thing is just let yourself experience whatever you experience. Don't judge it, just notice it. It's what's called being mindful. Just go, oh, that's interesting. This is the way I'm feeling. I just want to.
Or we can't hear you.
Good. Can you hear me now? Thank you so much for letting me know. Yeah, I upgraded my system in my computer, and some things are working better and some things are not working right. So I have to figure that one out. Give me one moment. Maybe I can. Oh, I see what's wrong. This should improve the sound. So give me one moment if I can get it to work. That's weird. Okay, I'll give it one more try here, and then it's so weird. It's a problem with upgrades. It can cause problems. Oh well. I give up, as long as you can hear me now. It's when this program works, it improves the sound, but muting me doesn't improve it, I hope. So sometimes you get temporary discomfort. It can even be painful sometimes, but that will pass. If it doesn't pass, let me know. Put it in the chat, or if you're on Facebook, I won't see it till later, but I'll still check your energy later. But usually it just takes care of itself. You may get muscle twitches, and those are called kriyas in India. And sometimes when you release energy, a muscle will twitch. And so that happens, great. Sometimes as the old emotions are being cleared out of the body and the chakra, old emotional energy, most of which won't even be your energy, by the way, you may feel it on the way out. So sometimes it just leaves, you don't notice it. So if you suddenly get irritated or anxious or any other emotional state, just go, oh, good, I'm releasing. And just be mindful of it. And you don't have to analyze it. Just let it flow. And again, if it doesn't get better, let me know. Let's see what else. Nandini said I sound great. Well, thank you. Oh, sometimes your eyes water, you may yawn. There's all kinds of reactions you can have. The key to all of this is mindfulness. And in mindfulness, you notice something. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to do anything with it. You just notice it and acknowledge it, and then it will take care of itself. It's when we try to analyze it and get into it, often we gum up the works. And see, so mindfulness is a real key to all this. And again, if you're not feeling good towards the end, let me know. Okay, anything else on my list here? Oh, just a quick, for those of you that are in the M Club, if you're in the new M Club, remember we're meeting this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. If you haven't gotten an email on that, check your spam folder, all of that, but send me a private message. Don't do a Facebook post. Send me a private message if you don't have that information. And if you were in the M Club, the previous M Club from last year that is ending this year, you should have gotten an email that we're meeting December 10th. So, and again, if you haven't heard about that, let me know. Okay. So before we get into the energy work, just real quickly, a few people, not everybody on this call knows me. So, and I didn't really introduce myself. Hi, I'm Art Geiser. So I'll just give a little bit about my background, a little bit about NLP and energetic NLP, and then we're going to hop into it and just, believe me, you're going to get plenty of energy work. You're not going to want any more. You'll have lots to process. So I'm the creator of energetic NLP. I'm a NLP trainer, that's neuro-linguistic programming trainer, and I've been one since 1985. I studied with all the developers of the field and had one of them as my mentor. We also developed something called imperative self-analysis, which is a whole other story. And I'm a master healer. I specialize in remote energy work. I'm intuitive. I have a varied background. I managed a research lab, a medical research lab for the University of California Medical School in San Francisco for 11 years. So I have a strong logic science background. For decades, I've worked with Fortune 100 companies to develop extraordinary leaders and teams. And I've been executive coach, life coach, NLP trainer since at least 1985. So just to give you some idea of my background, and ever since I was little, I was interested in science. And I was also interested in the powers of the unconscious mind, hypnosis, telepathy. So I've always had both the science part of me and the mystical part of me. And NLP, again, stands for neuro-linguistic programming. If you haven't heard of the field, NLP has influenced almost every field I know of. People just don't usually talk about it. Partially, and it stands for neuro-linguistic programming. And because of some people who practice NLP who, let's just say they don't fit my model of how they should be doing it, some people think, oh, isn't NLP about manipulation and control? The answer is no, not remotely. It can be used that way. So, I mean, you can misuse religion, spirituality, psychology, medicine. Yes, you can misuse NLP. But what NLP is about is finding ways to heal and clear people's unconscious blocks and open up more and more of their amazing potential of their conscious and unconscious mind. And you can do miraculous things with NLP. About the same time I was studying NLP, I'd already begun studying energy work and spirituality, but I started studying it intensely after NLP. And I realized there were some things you could do with NLP that were completely miraculous. There were some things you could do with spiritual work or energy work that were completely miraculous. And some of the things you could do with NLP were really hard to do with energy work or spirituality. Some things you could do with energy work and spirituality, you couldn't do with NLP. So I started weaving them together, starting really in about 1984. And that was the birth of energetic NLP. So energetic NLP is a part of energetic NLP, but it's just a part. But we bring in spiritual principles, healing and transformative energy work, and intuition development. And there's small, passionate worldwide following in NLP, which I really enjoy. So a little bit about my background. Well, one thing I will say, if you've never heard of NLP, you've heard of Tony Robbins, who's the most famous person in our field. Now, he has his own way of rah-rah way of doing things, but the core of his ability to transform people's lives comes from NLP. And it's funny when I hear him speak, and he has a lot of new things, but a lot of what he says are things that our teachers taught us back in the 80s, because I think he started maybe a year before I did. So NLP is really powerful. Energy work's really powerful. Spiritual work's really powerful. When you weave them together, it's like 1 + 1 + 1 = 1,000. So a little bit of background there. Now, if you weren't with us yesterday, give me one moment. Let me just check on the Facebook folks. Good. Okay, they seem to be fine. Great. So hi to everybody on Facebook. Okay, I'm going to go back to Zoom. And I guess for those of you who are on Facebook, since you're on, it's probably fine. But if you ever have trouble with Facebook, if you're not getting the live, refresh the page. If refreshing the page doesn't work, you might need to shut down your browser and start it again. Sometimes browsers, they call it caching. I think that's how you pronounce it. But they'll keep an old version of a web page, and they'll keep loading the old version because it speeds things up. So if that happens, usually refreshing the page takes care of it. Because when you're on the Facebook page, it won't automatically necessarily start the live stream. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And occasionally you have to like shut down the browser and just restart it. Okay. So everybody take an easy, deep breath. We'll do a tiny bit of review because there's some new people, and then we'll get into it. So everything in energetic NLP involves intention, permission, you putting your miraculous self in charge, and imagination. Intention, permission, putting your miraculous self in charge, and imagination. And permission, by the way, is a very much more complex subject than people think it is. And same with intention, because people focus on conscious intention and permission, if they focus on permission at all. But your spirit has an agenda in your life. Your soul has an agenda in your life. Your conscious mind has an agenda. Your unconscious mind has multiple agendas, and your body has its own agenda. And you exist in your karmic field, and you have spiritual contracts and other factors. Now, in the longer energetic NLP programs, we go into depth in all of that. But I just want you to be aware, permission is super important. You might think that just because you set an intention, that your energy field is giving permission, but they don't automatically go together. I mean, it kind of blew my mind when I discovered it, because you would think they would just happen together, but they don't. Sometimes they happen together, and those tend to be the areas in your life where things just flow most of the time. So whole being permission involves all of that, but the miraculous self takes care of some of the major parts of that, and that's what we're going to be using. So your miraculous self, so this is a review for those of you who were here yesterday, new for some of you. Your miraculous self is a term that's unique to energetic NLP. It's not your high self. It's not anything else you've ever heard of. Let it be its own unique thing. Your miraculous self is formed when your spirit, with its vast awareness, and your deep inner human wisdom, with its very practical wisdom, come together, align, and work together to nurture you, guide you, heal you, and support you, and help you manifest. Nurture you, heal you, guide you, support you, and help you manifest. And again, you might automatically think those go together, but they don't. And it turns out creating your miraculous self is really simple. Now, like a lot of things, it's simple to start, and then you can keep developing it, keep developing it, keep developing it. In the M Club, and if I say the word M, it's just a shortcut for the nickname for miraculous self. So if I say your M, I mean your miraculous self, I mean your spirit and wisdom working together. And in the M Club, which is the year-long program, we go into depth into all of these, and we keep evolving and developing what your M is. But even the initial parts of it are super powerful. And the reason we want to do this is, as I mentioned before, I was a medical researcher. When I was a little kid, I was always reading science books. I love logic and science. The problem with logic and science is it's only as good as the data that you have. You know, there's an expression in the computer world, garbage in, garbage out. Well, when it comes to the complexity of your energy system and you as a spiritual being, it goes way beyond your conscious understanding. I don't care how evolved you are. When I look at people's chakras, I don't see the simple little models that people show. And by the way, people describe the chakras really differently. They say there's different numbers of them, what they do. In the West, we tend to think of chakras like vortexes coming out from us. In the East, they often think of chakras as being in a central channel called the Sushumna behind your spine, and they're facing up, not out. So in the West, it's often they're facing, forward and backward. In the East, they're facing up, and they have petals, and different chakras have different numbers of petals, and each petal has different properties. And all of these models are you can do tremendous things with them. They're great. They're just, in my opinion, they're just not true. They're representations of something much more beautiful, complex, and dynamic. And when I look at people's chakras, they're multidimensional and complex, and nothing I can explain well. So as human beings, we need to have and work with simple models, but the models always limit us. And it's the same in science. Science is constantly evolving the models that they use, because they get a model that worked. So like Newton came along and came up with these models for gravity and all kinds of things. And they were incredible. And then Einstein came along and said, well, yeah, but there's a whole different model beyond that. And Einstein was part of the whole quantum physics things. And then other parts of quantum physics, as you're probably all aware, are going, oh, yeah, but the old models aren't right. We need new models and new models and new models. So that's just life. And it's the same in spirituality and energy work. So when you put your miraculous self in charge, you let go of the cages that your conscious mind is putting on your spirituality and on your energy system, because you will keep it within your belief system. If you put your miraculous self in charge, it will go beyond what you know. It will go beyond your belief system. So there are times in energetic NLP where we get very logical and really observe something. Most of the time we do the opposite. And it's why I call these energy spas. So an energetic NLP energy spa, you set your intention, you give permission, you put your miraculous self in charge, and then you just imagine, you just pretend it's happening. And then later you can analyze it. But if you try to analyze it while it's going on, you gum it up. If you ever danced or sang or done any sports or done art, you know that to do really well at it, you have to let it flow. And if you're analyzing it too much, it's one of the ways you try to throw an athlete off, is you try to get them overthinking things. So, and it's the same with energy work and spirituality. There are times to be very logical and analytical, and there are times to go way beyond that. So that's why I say that these 4 days are not a class on the chakras. I'm not teaching you a lot about the chakras. I'm mentioning a few things here and there, because your spirit and your deep inner human wisdom know everything about your energy system. Your spirit knows why you're embodied on the planet, how you fit into the whole unfolding of life, which you do or you wouldn't be here, and how the unfolding of life in this planet is part of the unfolding of the universe. Your spirit is in touch with all of that. And it knows everything about your energy field. Your deep inner human wisdom knows it on a very practical, more focused level. So when they work together, so in an energetic NLP process, you put your miraculous self in charge, let go of conscious control, and trust that your spirit and your deep inner wisdom are going to know what to do better than your conscious mind could ever know. So that's the theory and what we're doing. And you don't have to do that everywhere in your life. I am suggesting you do it in these sessions. So if you were with us yesterday, you can think, or if you're in the M Club or have done other programs, you can think of what we're doing today is going to strengthen your miraculous self's ability to work with your conscious mind, unconscious mind, and your physical body. And if you're just joining us today for the first time, you can think of you're creating your miraculous self. And it's so simple. A lot of you will try to make it complicated. It's intention and permission. So right now, if you want to, give your spirit and your deep inner human wisdom permission to form your miraculous self. Set that intention, give 100% permission for it to happen. And by the way, your spirit knows what it is. Your deep inner human wisdom knows what it is. Your spirit knows what your authentic essence is. So when I use words like that, just let your miraculous self figure it out. So right now, just imagine, pretend your spirit, your deep inner human wisdom are coming together to form your miraculous self. And then I'd like you just to imagine it's already formed. It's going to keep developing, but it's already there. It already exists. And you'll be using your miraculous self to be in charge of all the processes we do. So let's set our group energy space, and we'll dissolve it at the end. So imagine a giant gold ball of energy. And that's our reprogram your chakras for thriving in turbulent times space. And then using your imagination, we're going to just imagine things about this space. When you imagine things, you give permission for your miraculous self to do them. You give permission for your miraculous self and your unconscious mind to open up more of their potential. So let's imagine this space that we're in together, and we'll dissolve it when we're done. But this is a space of miracles. It's a space of effortlessness. It's a space where it's easy to let go of old programming, whether it's unconscious, energetic, or spiritual. It's a space where it's easy for your miraculous self to replace that old programming and the old beliefs with wisdom, knowledge, concepts, skills, abilities, and attitudes from your miraculous self. So as soon as any of the old programming or blocks or beliefs get dissolved, immediately your miraculous self replaces them with wisdom, knowledge, concepts, skills, abilities, and attitudes from your miraculous self. And that will work by far the best if you don't try to figure it out. Whatever comes in from your miraculous self, you can trust. It's your spirit and your inner wisdom. So you don't want to micromanage it. Just let it come in beyond your conscious awareness and let it get integrated in so that you can use it. Let's all set our intention that each and every one of us, as a result of working together today, is going to get a wonderful enhancement in our chakras. Set your intention that each and every one of us is going to increase our abilities to thrive even in turbulent times. That each one of us is going to feel validated, acknowledged, and supported. That each one of us is going to feel loved. And then give 100% permission for this to happen. Give 100% permission for you to receive it. And give 100% permission for your miraculous self to be in charge of everything that happens in this session. Set your intention that what we're starting to do now is going to wonderfully clear, heal, reprogram, and activate all the chakras in your body to help you thrive in turbulent times. Help you thrive in all times, but particularly thrive in turbulent times. Because the rate of change in this world isn't slowing down, it's speeding up. So we all need this ability to thrive in this changing environment. We all need the ability to tap into the positive changes that are happening in the collective consciousness of humanity. And I'd really like you to let in the fact that what we're doing is not just significant for you, it's not just significant for all of us, that every person on the planet, it opens up more to their spiritual nature, that resets their chakras to really thrive in this time. Every person that does that is helping to change the whole energy field of humanity. Every person that does it makes it easier for other people to do it. We're walking on a path that other people have started. As we walk on this path, the path becomes bigger, wider, and easier for people to follow behind us. If they choose to. Nothing's forced on anybody. But we're opening up possibilities for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for the world. Easy deep breaths. And give 100% permission for your chakras to be cleared, healed, reprogrammed, and activated for thriving. Give 100% permission for your miraculous self to be in charge of this. And then a whole symphony of energies starting to come into your energy field wherever you are. And your miraculous self will decide which of the energies in that whole symphony of energies it wants to use. Your miraculous self will decide what beliefs, programming, and blocks to dissolve and heal and replace. In an energetic NLP, we talk about the Goldilocks principle. Because in energy work, and I know this from traumatic personal experience, in energy work, more and faster is not the same as better. More and faster is not the same as better. And if you know the story of Goldilocks, she's always looking for what's just right. So give your miraculous self permission to do whatever's just right for you today. Again, more than just right is not better. There you go. So remember, this is an energy spa. Relax. Let the energy in your miraculous self do the magic. If part of your mind is analyzing everything, that's okay. But just turn down the volume. Don't fight it. Don't feed it. Just notice it, but leave it alone. And keep coming back to just relaxing. Let yourself have whatever experience you're having. Easy deep breaths, relax. Helps if you smile. Remember, we're just imagining, pretending all this wonderful transformations happening. We don't even need to believe it. We're just imagining it. And by imagining it, we're creating the space for it to happen. Remember, we're working with your crown chakra on top of your head, all the chakras inside of your head and around your head, which include the chakras in the forehead, the back of the skull, the center of your head, the chakras in the pineal gland and pituitary gland. All of that together, we often think of as the sixth chakra, the crown being the seventh, the ones in the head being the sixth. It's the throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus chakra, which is below your sternum where the rib cage begins to divide. There's all kinds of chakras in your abdomen for the internal organs and other chakras. This is the second chakra below your navel. The root chakra at the base of your spine. All the chakras in your feet and legs and arms and hands. Take a couple easy deep breaths, relax into it. Take a couple of easy deep breaths. Easy deep breaths, smile, relax into it. Okay, a couple more easy deep breaths. Now we're bringing energy to help you process and integrate what you just did, because you're going to be processing it at least for days. Now, because you've been doing all this clearing, there's more space in your energy field. There's more space available. So give your miraculous self permission now to fill you with more of your authentic essence and with supportive earth and universal energies. And again, your miraculous self knows what your authentic essence is. So just set your intention, give permission for your miraculous self to fill your cells, your DNA, your organs, your body systems, your chakras, your energy channels, your energy field, with more of your authentic essence and with earth and universal energies that will help you now and in your next steps in thriving. From the crystalline heart of the earth, give the earth permission to work with your miraculous self and let the earth do all the work. Let the earth create a grounding column of energy and let it send it up near the base of your spine. So let the earth send a grounding column of energy up near the base of your spine. And give the earth permission to ground only your authentic energy into your body. And this is something, I don't know why other people aren't teaching it, but you want to give the earth permission to ground only your authentic energy into your body. And a fun way to imagine that is you can imagine there's a point of light in your energy field for every cell in your body. And when the earth grounds you, every point of light pops in the cell it belongs in. They get out of alignment. So when the earth grounds you, everything lines back up. Give your miraculous self permission to use that grounding column of energy to do two things. One, any energy it wants to release, it can gently release down the grounding into the earth, and the earth can transmute those energies. Any energies that your miraculous self wants, nurturing, healing energies, energies of manifestation, come up from the earth up into you. So what you're ready to release goes down. What nurtures you is coming up. Okay, great. Now start wiggling your fingers and toes and stretch a little bit. It's a great idea to even like stand up. I know a lot of you aren't feeling like it, but it's a great idea to stand up and at least lightly stretch. Okay. And it can help to like pat your body and your arms. Set your intention that if you're doing anything after this session that requires safety, set your intention and give permission that your miraculous self, let me just check something. Okay, it's good. Set your intention to give permission that your miraculous self, while you're sleeping tonight, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Let me try that again. So set your intention that if you're doing anything after the session that requires safety, that your miraculous self and your unconscious mind will turn down the processing and make sure you're grounded, safe, and alert, grounded, safe, and alert, grounded, safe, and alert. And that can happen automatically anytime you need to be safe and really grounded and connected to the world. Really think I need to ground. Set your intention and give permission that tonight when you're sleeping, So when you're sleeping tonight, your unconscious mind at some point reviews the day. That's part of what we do when we sleep. Give permission that when that happens tonight, your unconscious mind will work with your miraculous self. And as it reviews what you did in the session, it'll be infused with wisdom, knowledge, concepts, skills, abilities, and attitudes from your miraculous self. It'll take what you did in the session and make it deeper, richer, wider. It'll make it higher and more multidimensional. And while you're sleeping, the benefits will automatically be integrated into your mind, your emotions, your body, and your energy field. So while you sleep soundly, deeply, and wake up feeling refreshed, the benefits will automatically be integrated into your mind, emotions, body, and energy field. And that can happen easily, naturally, while you sleep soundly, deeply, wake up feeling refreshed. So that can happen tonight, and get permission for that to happen. We have a couple more quick things to do before we finish up that are quick and important. But if you want to put in the chat real quick, if you want to share anything about your experiences, that would be great. If you do it in Facebook, I'll see it later. If you do it in Zoom, I'll see it now. And while people are doing that, you may remember from yesterday what we call spiritual emails. So when you go through an energetic NLP energy spa, your energy field is better, it's more authentic, and it's different. And sometimes on the inner level, people and pets even notice that something's different. So the way that we take care of that is by sending spiritual emails. So your M will send out these spiritual emails, and all they do is they're just telling people, hey, this is what my energy field looks like now. Bye. Not looking for approval or anything else. In that way, and include people, pets, plants, include the people that you haven't met yet that your spirit wants you to meet. So they're all just informed of where you are and how you are. Now, tomorrow, so let's dissolve our group energy field. And it's really, 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 really important that you retrieve your energy from everybody in the group, especially me. And it's important that we retrieve our energy from you. So everybody right now, ask your miraculous self to retrieve your energy from everybody else in the session. If you don't do that, you'll be depleted, and it's not good for other people. And if any of that energy as it comes back isn't really authentically your essence, that can go into the earth, and your miraculous self will figure that out. Okay, easy deep breaths. Just a couple of the comments. Energy felt gentle and fluffy. I feel peaceful and relaxed. Thank you. Feeling really relaxed and excited to notice what unfolds. Deeply relaxed, felt so loved, content, cared for. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So tomorrow, and we'll build on. So if you didn't see session 1 yet, be sure to watch that tonight or sometime today before it goes away. Tomorrow, we're going to work with the chakras that are above your body, which is really very special. So going to be working for all of that. And then on the 4th day, we'll work on getting all of your chakra system working together, and we'll be doing more than that, but that's one of the big parts of it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's always an honor and pleasure to be with all of you, and I look forward to the next time. So talk to you tomorrow. Oh, and you can still invite people to participate with us because the videos will be up on the Facebook page. Oh, one other thing, the Facebook page by tomorrow, either later today or tomorrow, will be private. So make sure that you've signed up and joined it because it'll be going private. Okay, thanks everybody. And you can continue to chat for a bit. I'm just going to turn off and end this. But the chat's still open.